good evening. Many thanks for joining us live on QTV. You are watching QTV News and I am Ajibit Rame. In tonight's top stories. The Kanifing Municipality Staff Welfare Association, which has been rocked by financial scandal, held its AGM on Saturday and the association's treasurer failed to appear to deliver his report. The chairman of Nigeria's National Drug Law Enforcement Agency met President Barrow while on a visit to sign an MOU with his agency's Gambian counterpart. 30 senior officers of the Gambia Police Force concluded a week-long training on Friday on crisis management and critical incident response ahead of December's presidential election. In sports news, the Gambia Football Players Association GFPA says they will recognize the performances of deserving league players at an awards ceremony in October. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. Now, following a corruption scandal at the KMC, the Staff Welfare Association's treasurer failed to appear to give his report at the Staff Welfare Association annual general meeting at the council's chambers on Saturday. Babu Kasi reports.
The AGM was convened not long after some of the KMC Staffed Welfare Association's outgoing executive faced corruption allegations that they had taken huge unauthorized loans in the name of the association. At the event, the delegates were informed that the outgoing treasurer refused to submit his report for scrutiny. However, a PowerPoint presentation to the delegates appears to show a huge misuse of funds by the outgoing executive, which includes the $12 million loan allegedly taken by the suspended CEO. The deputy CEO of the council, Kajali Jane, told delegates that the AGM is timely because the staff association needs credible people to run its affairs.
This Congress is organized in order to regulate and correct all the abnormalities that the Welfare Association has been experiencing. We believe at the end of this Congress, executive will be constituted, which of course, without any doubt, will steer the affairs of this important and noble association.
On behalf of the Lord Mayor, the newly appointed Deputy Mayor Binta Jane Jallo said the council will support the incoming staff executive to achieve its objectives.
This council will support you to have a vibrant association that will represent the staff in the most accountable manner. To begin with, the Office of the Mayor, acting on Article 7 of the Staff Welfare Association, wrote to the IEC to conduct this election to ensure transparency and upholding of democratic tenets. We urge you to play active roles, but in an orderly manner to make this process as a success.
Modu Enjai is the newly elected president of the Staff Welfare Association. He admits that a huge task lies ahead.
It's a huge challenge, very big one for that matter, because to be honest with you, there is a big issue that is going on right now as far as KMC staff welfare is concerned. One is in relation to our contributions for the past 8 or 9 years, which we want to know about. Two is in relation to this 12 million issue that few of the former executive members involved claiming that it was acquired in the name of the staff welfare, which we are saying it is not true. I believe the reason why I am going on oppose is based on trust and confidence. Because with the current situation of the staff welfare, everybody is frustrated. People could have applied in different angles, but reasons best known to them that nobody stood against me.
At the event, delegates expressed their disappointment with the ongoing events and tasked the new executive to investigate the outgoing executive. They demanded legal action be taken against anyone involved in corruption and misuse of the council's funds and the Welfare Association's money. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
Now moving on, as part of his visit to the Gambia to formalize cooperation with Gambia General Mohammed Buba, Drug Law Enforcement Agency of Nigeria, on Wednesday met President Barrow at the State House in Banjul. Aliu Sise reports.
The courtesy call on President Barrow was to brief him on the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the Drug Law Enforcement Agency of the Gambia and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency of Nigeria. The MOU, which was signed last week here in the Gambia, will strengthen collaboration between the sister countries to fight against drug abuse and trafficking within the two countries and the sub-region. Speaking to the press, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency of Nigeria, said that the partnership's objective between the two institutions is to stem the flow of the trafficking in drugs. Marwa had also served as governor of Borno State during the administration of General Ibrahim Babangida and was governor of Lagos State during the military administration of General Sani Abacha.
Certainly, the relationships between both countries precedes this MOU. We've had very fruitful, warm and cordial relationships between us for several decades. So the MOU is one more of these areas of cooperation between us. The drug trade, drug abuse, the drug cartels is one of the threats facing the international community, and it is up to countries, especially in our sub-region, to partner, collaborate and cooperate to make sure that we eliminate the drug cartels and drug trade. This is the essence, and we briefed His Excellency that this is why we're here. We will share information, especially intelligence, operations, logistical areas, training, and any other area between us that will boost our mission.
For Bakari Gassama, Director General of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Gambia, it is vital for countries to fight against drug trafficking and other organized crimes in the sub-region, as he expressed hope that the country will benefit from the partnership with Nigeria.
My institution, you all know, within the security fraternity is the youngest and of course, possibly I would say the smallest. But the workload on us as far as security threat is concerned is very high, it's very demanding. Drug is one of the most challenging jobs when it comes to security. We look forward to partner with a country, a college institution like Nigeria, who have wealth of experience, wealth of knowledge that we can share, we can tap from, and of course also they can render technical support to us. These things he reiterated to His Excellency the President, the support that government should render to my institution.
During the meeting, President Adama Barrow reaffirmed his government's commitment to the fight against drug abuse and trafficking. It is hoped that the two drug law enforcement agencies will move from commitment to action by implementing the MOU for the mutual benefit of both countries and the sub-region. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliu Sise.
30 senior officers of the Gambia Police Force concluded a week-long training on Friday on crisis management and critical incident response ahead of this year's presidential election in December. Omar P. Jallo reports.
The training is funded by the European Union and implemented by the Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, DCAF, and seeks to enhance the capacity of officers on crisis management and critical incident response as part of the security sector reform process. In his opening statement, the head of DCAF Banjul office, Ken Isaac, commended the participants for their hard work, dedication and commitment during the training, while giving an assurance of DCAF's continuous support to the government in its security sector reform process.
We are dedicated to improving human and state security through the strengthening of democratic governance, rule of law and respect for human rights. We do this by supporting states and societies to improve security sector governance, assisting international actors that support the states, and contributing to good security sector policy and providing specialist knowledge.
The EU ambassador to the Gambia, Corrado Pampaloni, underscored the importance of the training, which he hopes will equip the officers to better handle crisis situations while observing the rule of law, upholding human rights and freedom of assembly, which are essential in democratic societies.
You, as the Gambian police force, are the guardians of peace. Following this week-long event, you have worked on the skills to be more effective in dealing with local and national crises for the benefit of the population. I see the upcoming 4th of December as an important moment to put these skills in practice. However, it will not be only on that day. The upcoming presidential elections are made up of 3 important stages.
Momodu Sow, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, expressed gratitude to the DCAF and the EU Embassy for the continuous support and partnership. He challenged the officers to translate the knowledge gained into efficient service delivery.
The time and relevance of this training cannot be overemphasized. Cognizance to the fact that, as all of you has mentioned, this is an election year, which is very critical, and it is no coincidence that the training includes critical response. I have no doubt that the workshop participants have learned immensely, and they are fully equipped with knowledge and expertise during this training to effectively manage any situations that arises and manage it with the expertise and skills that they have inculcated into them during this past week.
Superintendent Gas Sabali, a participant, delivered the vote of thanks on behalf of the participants.
We promise that the knowledge received or acquired will be shared with those who are not fortunate to be here.
The training exposed participants to best practices in handling crises, as relevant modules were covered during the week-long training. Reporting for KTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
We'll go with a short commercial break. Still to come, we have more stories. Do stay tuned.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Now, 16 junior officers were promoted on Friday to the ranks of second lieutenant and lieutenant at a ceremony presided by the Deputy CDS at the Defense Headquarters in Banjul. Babu Kasi was at the event and he now reports.
That I will bear true allegiance. And absolute loyalty. To the Republic of the Gambia. At all times. So help me God.
The 16 junior officers went through vigorous military training at the training school in Fajara Barracks. After being promoted, Lieutenant Daddy Job, on behalf of his fellow promoted officers, thanked the Gambia Armed Forces Command for the opportunity and trust bestowed on them and promised to live up to expectations.
On behalf of myself and that of my colleagues and our respective families, I wish to express sincere gratitude to the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, through the CDS, ably represented by the Deputy CDS, and by extension the entire GAF Command, through the Deputy CDS, for your continued support and guidance throughout this long journey. We are very much grateful for the trust and confidence that you now bestow on us. And we are equally aware that whom much is given, much is expected. We are also conscious of the fact that any new rank goes with additional responsibilities.
The Deputy CDS, Major General Mamat Ocham, challenged the newly promoted officers to be loyal and motivated to serve their country, stressing that promotion in the Army is based on merit.
Your declaration today does not only confirm the Gambia Armed Forces policy on promotion, but also reflects the reform agenda. In a nutshell, This means you have fulfilled the requirements prescribed to be granted commission and promoted to the ranks that you have been decorated this morning in the armed forces of the Republic of the Gambia. Therefore, rejoice, as today is a joyous day for you, your families, friends, and loved ones. However, do not let your joy take away the importance of these ranks you begin to carry in ENS today. You must remember that promotion comes with added challenges and responsibilities, with far-reaching implications. It depicts and denotes additional responsibilities, and you have no choice but to act and behave in a manner befitting of an officer gentleman in the Gambia Armed Forces.
The Deputy CDS went on to state that the promotion is part of the security sector reform with support from partners.
I would encourage you to continue seeking knowledge. Training in the military is continuous. From one stage to the other, you have just started the journey in your military leadership career, and very soon you will travel overseas for your career, courses, and development.
Major General Cham also advised the newly promoted officers to be patriotic, patient, and mindful that their future decisions may impact on their subordinates. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
Adama Kamara, a 7-year-old diagnosed with severe anemia with heart failure, needs urgent treatment. Jennifer Sonko visited the child's family in Latokunda, Sabiji to further understand the child's situation.
Medical report from the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital dated 19th June 2021 confirms that Adama Kamara suffers severe anemia with heart failure. Anemia has been found to be a common complication of chronic heart failure, reducing oxygen delivery. Adama needs pediatric cardiology. Maria Majalo, a family friend, took us through the history of the child's condition and told us the family at first didn't have confidence in the health sector because they hadn't seen any changes in Adama's condition after their first visits to the hospital. Following that, the family turned to traditional medication, hoping that could be a solution.
It all started some few days before the Korite. She has a swollen hand. So we were thinking that maybe she fall down and she hid it from us. So we tried to question her, but she said she did not fall. But we tried to massage the hand to see if the swell will go down. After some days, it started with the whole body, the face, the stomach and the leg, everything just started to swell like that. Then the mother took her to the hospital. When she took her to the hospital, they prescribed some drugs for her, of which she was taking. When she took the drugs for like 1 or 2 weeks, we realized that things are not getting better. Instead, it's just getting worse. So she decided to take her to the MRC.
Fatu Sanyang is the mother of the patient, Adama Kamara, and calls on the public and the diaspora to save her child. We don't sleep. Her body is always hot, and her chest makes noise when she breathes. She vomits everything she eats. Gambian doctors have tried their best, but she's still not well. I am appealing to good people in the country and abroad to help us in the name of God. She was on oxygen for 2 weeks at the hospital. She should have completed nursery school this year to go to grade 1, but that has not been possible. Esa Sanyang, Adama's grandfather, was very emotional as usual. Granddaughters are very there to their grandfathers.
My granddaughter is sick. I am seeking help from organizations and individuals so she can be treated either in Africa or in Europe. You can see for yourself that her stomach and eyes are all swollen. She is my granddaughter, and I am very upset and concerned.
The patient, Adama Kamara, is a twin, and her twin refuses to go to school because her sister is sick. Adama would have been playing like our here if she was as healthy as her. If you want to support this family, please contact QTV on 3333245, 3333245, and news@qtv.gm. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
We wish people could come forward and help the poor child. Now on to sports news. Now, the Gambia Football Players Association, GFPA, says they will recognize the performances of deserving league players at an award ceremony in October. They made this revelation at the press conference on Thursday. Mamudu Kajeka has the rest of that story.
Responsible for the welfare of footballers, the Gambia Football Players Association executive says organizing an award ceremony is one way of motivating players for what they describe as an outstanding football season in the Gambia. There will be several categories of awards, such as Player of the Season, Goal of the Season, Top Goal Scorer, Best Player, amongst others. Former Brikama United defender John Bass is the president of the association.
We deem it necessary, to congratulate our players, to also make sure that we reward them at the end of the season. Because we have seen a lot of entertainment during this past football season. And then we have seen young talents, both male and female, showing us real good football and very much entertaining.
Gambian football players playing in the leagues, first, second and third divisions, earn very low wages. Some of them play without contracts. And even whereas these contracts exist, they are not worth the papers they are written on. The Football Players Association is aware of these realities and says their reason for being established is to address such problems.
The following are services that our members are entitled to. 1. Players can avail themselves of free professional advice should they have any dispute with their clubs. 2. The association will support the players when the need arises, example, contract issues, career-threatening injuries, motivations, capacity buildings, etc., etc.
Several players have already been nominated under each of the categories. Fans will have the chance to vote for their favorite players through SMS on numbers to be announced later. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Before we close, here's a recap of our main headlines. The Kanifing Municipality Staff Welfare Association, which has been rocked by financial scandal, held its AGM on Saturday, and the association's treasurer failed to appear to deliver his report.